Welcome to Connections. I'm your host, April Hale, and I'm sitting with my good friend, Katie Hale. She is on third-year staff at Bethel Atlanta School of Supernatural Ministry. Hi, Katie. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
So I would love to get to know you, and so I'd love to ask you just what is one significant moment that you've had in your life that feels like it stands out?
Great question. I feel like I've had so many small moments that as I look back, I realize just in the small moments of saying yes to things have created big moments to where I ended up here today. But one of the things that's been so impactful for me, years ago I read a book that Bill Johnson had written, and one of the lines in it was, "Your words create your world." And so it's been such a impactful thing, just being able to recognize that the things that I say matter and they're impactful, and just shifts my way of thinking and expectations that I have on things, or lies that I'm believing about something or not believing.
Yeah.
So that's been a really impactful thing for me.
Yeah. So how has that changed your world? Like, in what ways have you structured your world differently and used that phrase?
I think one of the first thing that comes to my mind is with my kids. Just the ability to, even if they're having a rough moment, or if you get a bad diagnosis from a doctor, or life things happen and it's stressful or not ideal, to just be able to have the choice. It feels like it gives me a choice of, how am I going to address this situation? How am I going to look at this situation? Am I going to say that my daughter is the shortest one in the class and she'll always be little, or do I still call her a big sister? You know, that's kind of a silly example, but it's just the simple. It's just this. It's just those simple things in life that I never want the words that come out of my mouth to be anything different than what God's saying about a situation.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's one of those areas where I just get to partner with the Holy Spirit on my day-to-day activities.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you have any other significant moments in your life that feel like they've changed you?
Yeah. When I became a mom for the first time, it was one of those. I had been, previously to having a kid, I was full-time in a career and traveling to Buckhead and, living a corporate life and in all of its glory, and just really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And we chose to have a baby, and so the baby pops out and I'm on my maternity leave doing my thing, being a mom, and I started back to work and realized I don't like where it's just hard.
Yeah.
And so I was just really having a hard time just adjusting to being a mom, being a wife, being an employee. And I frankly didn't like how I was feeling, didn't like how I was responding to situations and circumstances, and just short temper, and so I took a step back and realized I need some help on this. I need to get some advice.
Yeah.
So went to some counseling, and in the moment, and so I sit down and the counselor says, "Well, what season are you in?" And I mean, it took me forever to figure out what my answer even was, because I had no idea. And I finally came to the conclusion that, I'm in a season of being a mom. And from that moment, making choices to shift the reason that I was doing things, really just I feel like it really put me into the right track for the choices that I really wanted to be making in life. Somehow I kind of assumed that by becoming a mom, it would be one of those things where I could just check it off on my list and let's keep on doing corporate America. And for some moms, that is.
Yeah.
For me, it was not.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things that goes along with how are you managing your emotional health when you find yourself, for me, when I found myself short-tempered, standing in the slow line at the grocery store, that helped me realize, I am not having my needs met somewhere, so I need to just take a pause and figure out, what do I need, because my emotions are saying something totally different than what I would like to, the life that I'd actually like to be living.
Right. That's awesome. That's like such a wonderful revelation for a lot of moms that are wondering what to do.
Yeah.
How did you figure out, there's so many moms that are in that line of like, I want to pursue my dream, whether it's working or whatever, and I want to be a mom, and I don't really know how to balance the two. And so how did you figure out, like, I know you got the revelation, I'm in the season of being a mom, but how did you balance, like, being a mom looks like this for me? Because it could look like stay at home only to one mom and, part-time stay at home to another mom or whatever. So how did you figure out the balance for your life?
Yeah, that was just being in tune to how I was feeling. And it's not like I found an answer and that's what I do 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's a checking in with my own self when I find myself short with my kids or short with my husband, of recognizing, this is not normal. Like, this isn't how I normally respond to situations. If there's water that gets spilled on the floor, if I find myself, not staying cool, calm, and collected of, it's just water, grab a towel, no big deal.
Sure.
If I find myself really freaking out for it, it's a good aha moment for me of, I think I need to just take some time away for myself. I need to not be a mom right now or not be a wife. I just need to spend some time just being a girl with myself and, hire a babysitter if that's what it's going to take, or ask a girlfriend to watch my kids, or send my kids over for a play date at someone else's house so I can or send them off to preschool, just to have a moment where I have some quiet, some things that I need.
Yeah, to fill yourself up.
To fill myself up, yeah.
That's really good.
Not ever forget to take care of myself so that I can also take care of other people.
Yeah. So how have you found a balance between being a mom and being on third-year staff?
Nice question again. I feel like it's not so much a balance as much as a tension of we made a commitment to help out in third year, yet at the same time, I still have kids at home that I'm not putting them in bed and one night a week or 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
And being intentional with how they feel, because it does affect them as well. And we brought kids into the world to raise them so that they feel secure and so that they feel powerful. And I don't ever want them to have questions of, well, why are mom and dad not here? Do they, I want their emotions to also be very secure in, hey, this is why mom and dad are not here tonight because they're teaching at school, or whatever knowledge that they have of it.
Yeah.
So for us, we actually only go one night a week. We go Monday night, because on the nights that Matthew's speaking on Tuesday or I'm speaking on a Tuesday, we notice that for our kids, it's really hard for us to be gone 2 nights a week.
Right.
Even though in the grand scheme of it all, there's still 5 nights a week that they get us. But at this stage, they're still little. And so when they start to vocalize with us that, oh, I really miss you tonight, or sometimes we do on the nights that the random one-off weeks where we both go Monday or Tuesday night, and we see that one of our kids will kind of have a rough day the next day. We get some feedback from the teachers that, they had a rough day in school today, and I'm really not sure why. And so we try to be really intentional with, if we are gone 2 nights a week, which is seldom and far between,
right.
to be very intentional either the day before or the day after that we've been gone 2 nights, to take the kids out on one-on-one dates, or, you know, just really, it doesn't even have to be spending money on something as much as just being with them, being present with them a little bit extra or above and beyond what's normal for us at home, whether that's sitting just one-on-one with our daughter and coloring or making a bracelet with her, or with our oldest son doing a puzzle with him, or building blocks in a tower with him. And our baby doesn't have words yet. So he gets an extra bottle.
An extra bottle. That's funny. Oh, I love that. Oh, Katie, you're so full of wisdom. I love all the parts of you just learning how to, you know, be a great mom and manage your emotions and balance, or have the tension of, you know, being on third-year staff and being a mom and a wife. And it's just beautiful. I love your wisdom, and I think so many people will just love it. And so
Thanks.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. Thanks for sharing your wisdom. It's just wonderful.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. And you guys, thanks so much for watching. We loved having Katie on the show, and join us back next time.